What's going on? Welcome back to another Sean Eats video. So today we're going to once again be talking about my weight, but this time with a little difference. It's going to be the reality of weighing 370 odd pounds. So in this video I will warn you, I do talk about my mental health and it may not be best for some of you watching, but also we're going to talk about things like clothing and stuff like that and how it's a struggle. So, probably for the last 3 or 4 years I've been about 23-24 stone, partly due to my mental health and partly my own fault with sort of binges and things like that. So where I want to start is basically why I wanted to make this video today was there's a lot of stuff going around about mental health at the moment and how you should talk and all that good stuff, and yes, of course, it's good to talk and let people know how you're feeling, but it's not always that simple. And for guys especially, I know that all too well, how we just sort of bottle it up and we think it will pass, think it will just go away. But in reality, it just gets worse and it just magnifies and multiplies, and in the end, that's why you see so many suicides and so many men taking their own lives. It's because they just have enough in their head and their own battles and they just don't want it anymore. And they feel ashamed, that's the honest truth. They feel ashamed to let people know they're struggling. They feel ashamed to let people know that they're not doing okay. Which I suppose goes back to the macho thing of men and the fact that we're big, we're powerful, we're supposed to be almost supernatural in a way. But in reality, that cannot be further from the truth, because I suppose as guys we're probably, if you strip us all down, the most vulnerable. I tell you what a good thing is to watch, I don't know if you've seen, it's the Tyson Fury documentary he's been doing, and he speaks candidly about his mental health and about just that, how on the surface men are supposed to be macho, but in reality if you strip us all down we're just probably the most brittle people going. Anyway, that's my little start to the video. What I'm going to speak about, as I say, is my own mental health, how that's been and how that sort of deteriorated in the last 3 or 4 years, and as I said, my weight, what it's like, the reality of weighing this size. So let's start with the weighing 370 odd pound, the reality of that. And I suppose it links with depression, because you can't get nice clothes, you can't do a lot of things because simply they have to go to the side. And again, I suppose it ties in with embarrassment, with having to shop in places such as Giacomo and plus size shops. It's just not good for your self-esteem and confidence. And I suppose as I've got older, I'm turning 25 in 6 weeks or so, and sort of, well, not just dawned on me, but as I've got older I've come to realise the fact that it's important to look after yourself, not just physically but mentally as well. And I suppose that's probably been my downward spiral mentally, and that's obviously led to the physical things that you can see in this video. So I have had sort of therapy and things in the past. I'm sure CBT is good, but for me it just didn't work, and I know other people that's the case as well. For me it was just a waste of time really. I have probably around 6 or 7 sessions with it, and it just seems to me that it's just something that they're going through the motions and they want to fob you off as soon as possible. So that is just the sort of that's the sort of stock that they put you through. And I guess it comes down to funding. I guess it comes down to they haven't got the sort of resources. But you shouldn't really tarnish everyone with the same brush and put them all in that category. Anyway, that's my little rant. So as I say, mental health, it's not something spoken about enough in men especially. I know there's a whole big thing in the moment in the media regarding Caroline Flack, who unfortunately took her own life. But it's all well and good speaking about it then, But this sort of thing, the conversation has to be continuous. It can't just be something for a 5 minute fame and people, even celebrities, just getting on Sky News because they want to stay relevant. It's far more than that. It is just something that happens every day. And it doesn't matter if you're a millionaire or living on the streets, it affects everybody. And the conversation has to be had a lot. I know there's people that get on their high horse and say, text your mate and see if you're okay, etc, etc. That's all well and good, but people don't really know what to do if someone says, yes, I am having a bad time. People just seem to see it as a, not fashion statement, but they just seem to be, as it's in the news, they seem to be all experts on it, which is obviously not the case at all. Now, myself, I've sort of had probably quite severe depression at times, and anxiety, social anxiety to be more specific. For me, this has been going on for about 6 or 7 years now, and it's a cliche, but you do really have good days and bad days, and the good days are good, and the bad days, well, as you can imagine, they are quite bad. And it's just the case of having to not sort of just grit your teeth and get on. But I suppose for me, as I've had it for so long now, I know what to do. But for people that are experiencing it for the first time, or maybe family members are watching this with people with this, the best thing you can do is just give the people some space. I know they say that's not what you should do, but from my own experience, just sort of don't make too much of a fuss about them or overcrowd them or annoy them. They'll come to you if they need you. It's just best to let them know you're there, sure, but then definitely don't keep going on to them or keep asking them if they're alright. That's the worst thing that you can do. They probably just need their own space, and they'll have their own things that they can cope with it, and that's absolutely normal. Speaking of that, initially one of the first things I done, I've never had any pills or anything, but the first thing I done was drink quite a lot, really. And that, I'm sure as men, that's probably our natural coping mechanism with it, because it sort of blocks everything out, but it doesn't make anything go away. It just makes things 10 times worse, really. And of course, sure, you can have a social drink at home or with your friends. No one's saying you can't. But it's not a great idea to start sort of binge drinking or taking drugs or whatnot, because it does make you feel good at the time, but afterwards you come crashing down. That's something I've learned firsthand, and of course Tyson Fury's mentioned that as well. Two people couldn't be more further apart in our lives, but we have that in common, and it just really shows that it affects anyone. Doesn't matter where you come from or what happens to you. So yes, so as I say, 25 coming up to, and only now I'm really starting to do something about it, because I want to make sure I'm here for another 25 years, even longer than that. And I want to sort of get on with my life now, sort of get into the worlds where I can be in a position to move out my parents' house and become an adult, really. And it's not the fact of taking responsibility, which I don't take on, because I do take responsibility, and I suppose mental health, if you suffer with mental health, that is a high responsibility that you've got every day, to make sure you get up, you are functioning, and you're getting on with life the best you can, and you're modelling through. So I hope I can continue to make these great videos for you, if they are great, of course, and you can start following my progress on my weight loss, and hopefully me becoming a better person. I don't like the word normal, but my end goal is to be sort of a normal young person in the early to mid-20s, and hopefully you can follow me here and follow my fitness journey on Instagram, and hopefully see me turn my life around essentially. Anyway, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Sorry it's a bit somber and morbid today, but I thought it was an important video to do and a important message to get out there. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. As always, I'll put my social medias down below. Once again, thanks for watching.